Run Pure Sports. I'm Holden. I got TitleTown. It's Monday Night Football here. Thrive Fantasy Show. Looking forward to that. If you're just joining us for the first time you ever seen this, you don't know what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you right now. Thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Okay. Title really likes that. It helps Title a lot when you hit the thumbs up. And then speaking of Title, his interview's dropping soon. I just started an interview series here on Run Pure Sports. I'm going to be interviewing all of our talent, all of our analysts, and the one with BigT just dropped. So make sure you go to the Run Pure Sports, I guess right here on this feed, right on YouTube. So we talked about his DFS and betting process, losing his virginity, his rivalry with Siege. I mean, there's a lot going on with BigT. So check that out. That's out right now. Title, how are you doing, buddy? Monday Night Football, two teams that you hate because you're a Packers fan. Got a little bit of weather, some winds around 17 miles an hour that I'm not too worried about. Let's get some overall thoughts on this game before we get into the contest, my friend.
Yeah, so a Monday Night Football game, two rivals, Minnesota, Chicago. Weather's cold. It's a November game. Winds like 10 miles an hour, so I'm not expecting it to be nothing crazy, but, I mean, it's going to be a cold, gross game. Nick Foles isn't the best. Cousins isn't the best. I expect a pretty low-scoring game right now. We're sitting with the over-under at 43.5, so don't think that's going to equate to too many fantasy points, too many overs that we're going to be looking at Thrive. But anytime we have football on Monday night, I mean, there's nothing better than watching football. So I'm excited. There's always money to be made, and I'm ready to jump.
Like normal, Title and I play on Thrive Fantasy, but play a $25 entry fee, $5,000 prize pool, 222 entries. And we'll do one of them here. And Monday Night Football, what you do, these are prop picks. And instead of getting juice here, it kind of is. It's like over 90. If you get 95 points over, it's kind of like betting minus 110. If we go under 228.5 passing yards, it's kind of like getting plus 110 or so. So let's do this. Kirk Cousins, 228 passing yards tonight. Doesn't seem like a lot, but he's going up against the Bears defense. He's got a red hot running back, and he has not cleared this number in his last two starts, one against Green Bay, one against Detroit. So here we are back in a divisional game. Title. Does Cousins go up over or under?
Yeah, so we mentioned in the beginning with a lot of the unders, I expect them to keep riding Dalvin like they never have. I mean, like they have been. Dalvin's been actually just carrying the team. They don't want Cousins to make mistakes. That's the way that they're going to lose this game, I think. So I think it's going to be a lot on the ground, a lot of Dalvin, even Madison a little bit. And Cousins really hasn't been performing too well. He hasn't been hitting these numbers. So I like the under. You get 105 points on under 200 or 222. And then I even like the under completions at 23.5 too. They correlate pretty well. If we expect a cold, windy game a little bit with a lot of Dalvin Cook involved, let's just hit both the unders. They correlate, and we get some even juice on the passing yard. So I like the under on both Cousins props.
Tough running matchup here for Dalvin Cook. That being said, I mean, 86.5 total rush yards for a guy that seemingly runs for well over 100 every week now. Can Minnesota get him the ball enough to or make enough holes where he can make it happen on the ground? And then does he score a touchdown? I mean, I just feel like there's not enough incentive to go at 75 points, but 86.5 total rushing yards. That's an interesting one right there. As you look at his props, as you look at the numbers recently here, right? I mean, 206, 163, he's going bananas.
Yeah, it was kind of like on Thursday night, we were talking with Derrick Henry and stuff too. We had a tough matchup on the ground, but we still took the overs. Good running backs are going to perform. They get enough carries. Dalvin Cook's no different, especially because we're under on the passing game with Cousins and that. I like it over 86.5 yards. I think he can get 25, 30 rushing attempts, and he's too good not to break one or two. So let's hit the over on that. And yeah, we could come back to the touchdowns if we need it. He's minus 240 to score right now, I see. So that looks like a free 75 points. But if we can find stuff at 100 that we like, that we like more for GPPs, like how their formats, price structures, you want as many points as you can. So let's just pass on that one.
These are all interesting right here. I'm just going to kind of lump the receiving core together. Thielen, 57.5 total receiving yards. Does he get 3 or 4 catches here? Which side are you on? Justin Jefferson, 55.5 Does he score a touchdown? You're getting 110 points for that. And then no Irv Smith. I do wonder if Kyle Rudolph goes back to being a part of the game plan here. And then you look at him the last couple of days. He actually he actually went 3 for 40 in his last start. Does he do that against the Bears? So we'll start with Adam Thielen, 57.5 total yards. I love Adam Thielen yards after the catch here. I think he can get to this number and surpass it. But I will defer to you here, Title.
Yeah, so they're all these numbers for these Minnesota receivers are all priced right, but we're gonna need some because you have to pick half the props, 10 out of the 20. And I do feel most comfortable with Thielen in the yards for over, just because he is the number one. Justin Jefferson's a complete stud too, so he's definitely in the consideration. But it seems like Cousins is a little more comfortable with Thielen. 57.5 seems a little. It's priced right, but out of the three that we talked about, it seems like he has the best chance of going over. So let's hit that number. The thing with the catches, like 3.5 seems really like I think he's going to probably have 4 catches or more, but 3 is definitely in the realm of possibilities, and only over 85 points.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like enough. It doesn't feel like enough, but I do like, I'm looking at the Justin Jefferson touchdown, and it's only 90 points for the under 1 touchdown. Like that number doesn't seem enough juice on the under. He's plus 190. Let's just hammer that under right there. We expect Dalvin to get a lot of the red zone targets and stuff. So I like the under with him. Kyle Rudolph, I'm not going to touch it. I get it. The number's low. If we need it, we can come back. We can hit the over. It's Kyle Rudolph. I'm not going to touch.
Nope. Dan Bailey too. I'm going to fade the kicker here. I just don't know what the hell to expect.
Cold weather, I agree.
Yeah, with a little bit of wind, it doesn't really scare me that much. And this actually could turn into a field goal festival, when you think about it, especially with the Chicago defense. But, I mean, we're talking about 2 field goals and an extra point. Actually, the more I talk it out, but I'm not going to mess with Dan Bailey. Should we just fade that?
Yeah, if we need it, we can come back to it. But like we said, with the wind or the colder weather, and they're going to keep the ball on the ground a lot. I expect this to be a game that flies by really fast. So, let's just come back to that if we need it. But we have some Bears props I like too.
All right, JJ on the bet side has Foles over 23.5 passing attempts. Given a shark guy's lean like that, does that do anything for Nick Foles? Who I think, again, there's injuries to the secondary for the Vikings. I don't think it's outlandish, but the lean is under here.
My lean for his passing yards actually is over because it's 258.5. And you said that JJ thinks he's going to throw more than 23.5 times, right? So so I like hearing that as well. He's priced at about 270. I know for the Bears side, I like the passing game more than I like the running game because, David Montgomery is not good. They're going to need to rely passing. Minnesota's secondary isn't very good either. So 258.5 feels a little too low for him. And there's not even any juice on it. So let's just take the over, on his passing yards at 258.5.
He's averaging 249. Go back to the completion thing over, to 24 or over. Look what he's done here. 36, 28, 28. So
I like that too. Unfortunately it's not on Thrive, but it kind of correlates if we expect him to throw a lot.
Let's go over there. Touchdowns and picks though. I don't know about him throwing 2 touchdowns and an interception. Thoughts?
Yeah, we can come back to it. If anything, I'm gonna take the over because it's 10 more points, and we know Nick Foles can turn the ball over and stuff. But we can come back to that if we need it.
All right. Well, I don't know what we're doing with Ryannall here because we do have David Montgomery out. Is he the guy that gets the carries? We just haven't seen him do anything. Is he going to be the guy? They called up Lamar Miller. I just want to completely fade Ryannall. Do you have any hard takes on this?
The thing is, we're expecting him to get some work, and that's 37.5 rushing yards and receiving yards. And we know how much Nick Foles dumps the ball down if he doesn't have a lot of time or something like that. Number just seems too low for anybody. That's going to be what we expect. Even splitting carries, at minimum, we expect. But we think he's going to be the guy to at least 60% of the snaps and stuff. So I actually like that over at 37.5 cents. A lot of these congrats to Thrive Fantasy. Give them props when they deserve it. They priced a lot of this stuff right. So I don't expect them to be too many really chalky props everyone are on. So we get a little 105 points too, a little extra 5 points from everyone. I like that. And as far as the touchdowns, though,
No.
if we need it, we can always come back and take the under, like we said. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's just pass on that.
Yeah, I'm not messing with it. Allen Robinson over 65.5 receiving yards does pique my interest, but we're only getting 90 on the over. At some point in time, we got to pick that 9. So he's got to get 8 receptions here. That is a ton of receptions. The question is, is there anybody else that's really going to catch the ball out there? Mooney, I guess we could talk about Mooney next after this. But Allen Robinson, I would expect if we think Foles is going to throw a lot, he's throwing a lot to him. I kind of like the over on the 65.5, but I could understand if you want to go under just because the points we're getting.
So I think right away what stands out is that 7.5 receptions, though. I think we hammer the under on that. Like that's a high number for someone with Nick Foles at quarterback, especially when all the attention's going to be on Allen Robinson. Like he can absolutely get that, but 8 catches is a ton. As far as the yards, though, I have more of a lean on the Mooney because you get an extra 10 points and we get the over. He's a big play guy. You've seen Nick Foles miss him a ton, and it only takes 1 catch for him. So that's more. I'm going to take the
Look
over
at Mooney.
for Mooney. If Robinson, if you have a lean, say that again.
Look at Mooney, man. Look at his last 5 games. He's gone over 70. He's gone over that number every time here. He's 81 yards. He's a big, and look at the number of receptions he's getting. After this, I'm going to go look at Darnell Mooney props in the betting market. We got to go over here, don't we?
Yeah, I like the over a lot. And that's another reason, like the Allen Robinson yards, I'm just taking the under in the receptions. Mooney, I like the over though. He's a really good athlete. Foles he's going to find a way to try and get him the ball, and eventually he'll hopefully make a good pass because he's left a lot of points on the field with Mooney. He's overthrown him a ton this year. He's always open.
Yeah. And just looking at the recent game logs and making that as your decision to place a bet or place this wager is no way to do it. But again, the snaps are up, the targets are up, the catches are there for Mooney. I don't like the touchdown prop. Jimmy Graham's an interesting one too. Like they have used him in a red zone. I just don't know how successful he's going to be tonight. I'm just going to go look at adjusted, fantasy points here for this. And I think that can kind of help us a little bit with Jimmy Graham. But
while you're looking,
my lean is under. My lean is under. Mine is too, but I'm also biased. I think Jimmy Graham is so dusty now. Doesn't create enough space. Like if he catches it, it's like a 7-yard sit route that really doesn't build up the yards. Yeah.
Like I don't think this is his type of game.
The only concern is that Foles, we think he's probably going to have to throw a little bit more, but I'm fine with going under there. I got nothing on Cairo Santos. Do you want to go back and make our ice pick? I know that you had mentioned a couple of different guys here. Was it the Dalvin touchdown, just 75?
Yeah, it was both the touchdowns. It was the Dalvin touchdown over, and then we had was it the running back that we had, Null? We took his
Ryannall
touchdown for under 2. I'm not expecting we're going to need any of these because nothing's questionable or any of that, but we always have to make them just in case.
Yeah, let's do those. We got our 2 ice picks and we'll do that. So here we go. We got unders on Kirk Cousins here. We got overs on Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen. Justin Jefferson, we don't think he's going to get a TD. We'll get 90 points there. Foles throwing for more than 258 yards. Ryannall doesn't score a touchdown in our ice pick. Robinson under 7.5 receptions. Mooney over 41.5 total yards. And then Jimmy Graham under. So again, thank you very much. Check out Thrive Fantasy, $50 matching deposit right now. You throw $50 in, they will match that dollar for dollar up to $50. Again, thumbs up. With Title, what do you got going on here? We got our pod coming up later this week.
Make sure, I just want to add that in with the code RUNPEER. Make sure to use the code RUNPEER. Yep. Yep. No, yeah, you had it on it earlier in too. So just want to make sure. Yeah, we have our podcast on Wednesdays. We do these Thrive videos Monday and Thursday for the people. So we're always my face is popping up once in a while. You and I have an interview coming out after Big T. I'm excited to listen to Big T and JSU. Well,
you'll be Thanksgiving week. So that's a week from Tuesday. TitleTown's is dropping. So I'm looking forward to that too. Right now, Big T's is up, our interview series. We talk about funny stuff. We talk about DFS and betting too. So that's very important. JSU
excited to check it out.
Huh?
I'm excited to check it out. The interview series is a great idea that you have going on. I'm excited to listen to all of them.
It's fun. Oh, yeah. Come on. We need to get to know these guys a little bit better. Rubio Dimes asked to interview me. There's 0% chance I'm going to let him do that. What a debacle that would turn into with that guy. Oh my God. Oh my.
Do you like soccer? Yes, I do.
That'd be funny.
I love you, Rubio Dimes, but you deserve that. Okay, thumbs up. Interview series is out. Big T, check it out on the Run Pure Sports page. Thank you, Simon, for making us look gorgeous. Title, as always, thank you so much for doing with me. Check out Thrive Fantasy, and I am Holden, and keep running pure.
Good luck, guys.